Miss Weingarten, who is the head of the teachers union for the entire United States, right? And she just said, test scores are down because kids aren't engaged. Look at this tweet. My teacher dream is for my school to have a copy machine operator. Teachers would send a PDF file with the instructions on how to print it. And before you know it, perfectly made copies would be delivered right to the classroom. You guys, this has 60,000 views. This cannot be the state of the art in our profession if we want students to be engaged. This is from John Hattie's Effect Size. What's worse for learning, being absent or being bored? They both have a negative 0.6. That's over a year's worth of learning loss from being bored. Being bored at school has the same amount of impact as being fully absent. So this is what kids do for fun. They make lists of things, and here's my point. Where are we on the kids tier list? Because kids understand how to rank and rate us. I love using the food analogies because they're relatable. This, unappealing. This, yes, Hans and I will take 4, and we will also take some of those chicken nuggets and some of that mac and cheese. Why? Because it looks and smells delectable. It doesn't smell like a commodity. Here's some kid examples. I didn't even ask the kids how they did on the state test, and they couldn't wait to tell me. I cooked, Mrs. Skinner. I was locked right in. This is how kids talk about the state test when they're engaged in the work. Rob just started using protocols and rethinking his work. Look at this. 93% passing on the Texas state test. He was at about 50% at mid-year. 50% to 93, pretty good.
Wow.
Pretty good. Critical thinking, collaboration, creativity, communication. Those are the 4 C's. But Gene noticed that, look at this. Collaboration, what? Critical thinking, communication. A lot of this stuff is in your portrait of a graduate. Some people call it a learner profile. And what's the 4 C's throwdown? Well, it's a great little story. I said, when we do the observations, we're observing the wrong person. We're observing the teacher. And what we should be observing is the students. So I said, guys, let's do the evaluations based on the 4 C's. And here's what it would look like. Ready? Are the kids doing something that has a creative element? Are the kids doing something that has a critical thinking element? Are the kids doing something that has communication besides the teacher talking to the kids? And are the kids working together? So each of these frames has a value of 10. I'm realistic enough to know that very few lessons are going to be a full 40, but our goal is to not have a 0. Here's one of my favorites. This is the Challenger. It's called Word Up Wednesday. It's basically just a modified Freyer. One student does the definition. One student makes a compound sentence. One person puts pictures that explain it, and one person puts something that's the opposite. Is this creative? Yes, it's open-ended. We've got pictures. Are they working together? Yes. So there's collaboration. If you work together at a table, you have to do what? You have to talk. So there's communication, and then the group shares their work at the end. So this is my Challenger to the worksheet. And then here is the original template. Shout out to Coach Stevens. He made Word Up Wednesday. He was the inventor. And what he's got here is down the middle is there's this little splitter. He actually, Gene, in this case, has 2 groups working within one slide, competing to make this stuff. And look at this, you guys. This is fantastic. The word is judicial. They need to define it. They need a GIF and an image of it. They need a meme of it. They need a historic example, a modern example. They need to use it in a sentence. They need 3 antonyms and 3 synonyms. That's critical thinking. And then here's the template for you guys. This is baked into Learning Genie. This is called Sketch and Tello. And I love this little quote from Mark Wallace about one of his students. Most underrated piece of EduProtocols, elevating skills and gifts that don't always shine in traditional academic settings. Check out this sketch and tello from a 4th grader of mine who has traditionally struggled academically. We watched a video on ecosystems, and this is literally breathtaking for him. Ready for this, you guys? Look at this student's work. Look at the drawings. Look at that cute little fox in the forest. People, Isabella can draw. Look at those. Would you say Isabella comprehended the video she was watching, because I would say she would. You never want to get on a plane where the pilot learned to fly from worksheets. You want a pilot who's got hands-on, real-life experience. We can't change what they need to learn in fourth grade. We can't change those things. These things we can totally change. We can change our methodology, our actions, our procedures, and we can develop our skill set. What I'm advocating for is changing the process of how we teach, and that will change our outputs. That will change our outcomes. I'm going to open up a learning Genie, you guys. I'm going to take you from scratch here. So we're going to sign in K-12, and we're going to start for free, but let's just do a quick unit here. And I'm going to make it on the book Holds. Focus on characters. Let's go grade 6, because that's my favorite. In this case, I'm just going to do a 1 weeker, but I could do, look at this, you guys. We could plan a whole quarter. And I'm going to go auto adapted, and then I hit generate. So this is phase 1, unit foundations. And so here's my unit overview, unit trajectory, concepts that we're going to look at. And I go, hey, this is great. So I hit next. Now it's writing me my theme for week 1, and I'm going to enter the name of the book. And let's see, this week children will explore character development, relationships, and these are the standards I'm going to cover. I say, that is great. Give me 5 lessons. I can go in and I can view the lesson one at a time here. And what's that? So I can apply a template. It's building the whole thing for me right now. It's going to give me some teaching tips on the different standards. It's going to involve UDL elements, cultural and linguistic practices, formative assessment. It's going to make questions for me. And I love how Gene did this, you guys. I can change the Bloom's level, or I can switch over to DOK. One thing that drives me bonkers as a teacher is when my principal and I don't agree on the DOK. It's going to give you the source of where all the information came from. It's got the answer key. I can add a question if I want to. I can pick what type of question. Let's go matching, and I can put it remember, and boom, and it generates me a question. It makes some slides for me in Google Slides. This is all made for me by Learning Genie. And then right here, I can go to student ready activities, and Gene, it gave me a book of Kucha, but I might say, you know what? I'd really like a sketch and tello. So I can switch that out right here, but it makes everything you need ready to go. So it'll make all this for you. And then if I decide I like it, I just hit batch generate. You guys, it's going to make me a whole week. So even with demonstrating it to you guys, oh my gosh, 8 minutes to make a 1 week lesson, which includes EduProtocols, which the EduProtocols are going to push up the 4C's potential. And here's a little dirty trick for you guys. I'm doing it on my contract. I'm doing lesson planning during class, not at night.